No, don't come to me. All right, come to me. Want to say hi? They can't see your face, though. This video has a lot of information in it. I'm just going to put that out there. Bear with me. Okay, the third section I have is the application, the most important part once you've got the colleges that you know you want to apply to. Now, I know that everything is changing, but in my day we had this thing called Common App. Basically, Common App is a place where you can make one long, lengthy application, put all your information in it, and then you can then take that application and send it to many, many, many different schools. So that way you don't have to be rewriting essays and putting in the same information into the computer over and over and over again. It just makes it easier. Most applications will be either online or on paper, and if it's online, it'll be either like through the website or through some type of portal. It'll ask you about your parents, where they're from, did they go to college, for how long, where they went. Like, they get really all up in your business, for real. They ask you if you have siblings. They ask you if other people in your family went to college. They ask you what high school you went to. Did you go to middle school in the area? You have pets? Is you single? They'll ask you for your transcripts, which are all your grades, your test scores, SAT, ACT, subject tests. They're basically just tests on that subject. So it'll be like a whole test based on U.S. history or a whole test based on chemistry. Letters of recommendation. From experience, most schools will ask between 2 and 4 letters. Your essays, your resume, or like some kind of activity sheet where you wrote down all your extracurriculars. A portfolio of like your awards or, you know, any kind of achievements that you've done. Short answer questions, which are usually more informal. They're basically things that colleges put because they want to know more about you as a student rather than how you write or what your grades were. Usually there will also be separate applications for if there's an honors group or some kind of scholars group. Alright, now I'm going to talk about different deadlines. Early decision. That means it is a binding contract. If you apply to that school and they accept you, you have to go to that school. This means you cannot apply to more than one school early decision. This means if this is not your first choice school, I recommend that you don't apply early decision. Now there's a deadline called early action or priority. Early action or priority is basically, that's the sweet spot. You apply early so you get your results early. You also get priority for scholarships, special programs, sometimes class scheduling, you get priority for that. This one is non-binding. You only benefit from it. There's no contract saying you gotta go to this one. The next one is regular decision. These are the people who don't apply early, but they don't apply late. They're just regular people. If you get in, cool, you can choose to go there. Finally, there's a deadline called rolling deadline, and it's exactly what it sounds like. There's not really a set deadline. I don't know why they do that. It's basically you put in your application whenever you want, and you hear back from them whenever they're done reading your application. There is, of course, a limit with all of these deadlines where they can only take a certain number of students in. Okay, so here's some tips for applying. Applications will have a feature where you can stop, save, and come back to your application later. So they'll usually give you like a login or something, or some kind of link where that is your application, nobody else can see it, and you can come back. So you don't, because really, applications take such a long time. You are not going to finish an entire application in one sitting, especially when you got to write that essay. Speaking of writing the essays, you want to write it separately, like in a document form. So one, you can send it out to other people if you need to get them to revise it. More on that later. And two, so that you can just copy paste whenever you're ready. Because sometimes when you type it in the box and then the website crashes and then you're like... Another tip is that most institutions will accept a postmark document. And postmark basically means, let's say I need to have my transcripts in by November 1st. If I send them in the mail, I don't necessarily know when they're going to reach admissions board's hands. So whoever's in the post office will stamp it saying, hey, she sent this out by October 30th. Don't wait that long to send them. Hey, she sent this out October 15th. She did what she had to do. If it gets there November 2nd, sorry, she was on it. She was on it. We were the slow ones, so it's our fault. But she got it in because we postmarked it. After you send in your application, continue to send them, I just bit my tongue. Oh my God. Updates about your achievements, awards, any awards that you get, any special events that you were involved in. Some schools are going to ask for a mid-year report, which is basically you send in the first couple grades that you got from 12th grade, just so they can kind of see, hey, I mean, I know Sarah got a 4.0 all junior year, but is she slacking now because applications are over? Is she a straight D student now? I don't want her. The final section is the essay. I think this is the hardest part for me. The reason colleges ask you to write an essay is because, one, they want to make sure you're competent, you can write. And two, they want to know about you. You know, anybody can look at a piece of paper and see their GPA, their name, where they come from. But how do I know what kind of person you are? So before you even look at like what the essays are, think to yourself, what do I want these colleges to know about me? If it was me, I'd be thinking, okay, I want these colleges to know I'm involved in the arts. I dance, I sing. I want them to know I have passion. I want them to know I care for my baby sister. I want them to know I am so in love with my dog. So in my essay, I'm going to incorporate those things into whatever prompt they give me. So if they're asking me about what my favorite food is, I'm going to be like, yeah, I sit down and eat this food, and my dog, who I love so much, she's always barking at me asking for it. So I know she likes it too. You know, things like that. They're going to ask you something either really specific or really vague, and you just got to work with it. The topic is always about you, no matter what they ask. They might say, what's your favorite place to vacation to? But the reason they ask that is because they want to know why you like that place. They want to know how that pertains to you as a person. So no matter what they ask, make sure you throw in some adjectives about yourself. Throw in some similes, throw in some metaphors so they know you have a way with words. You know, you feel these things. You're not just answering a question. You really know what you're talking about, and you are really opening the doors so they can see what kind of person you are. I feel like I'm preaching right now. After you think about what you want them to know, you need to also put yourself in their shoes and think about what they want to know. So if I'm an admissions officer, I want to know, okay, sure, this person can sing, but has she done anything to help the community with that? Sure, she can dance, but who does she dance for? I don't want to just know that you're talented. I want to know how you use that talent to better yourself, to better other people, or to affect the world. You should really just let the thoughts flow. Write as much as you can, and then go back and edit. So fix your grammar mistakes, fix your spelling. If there's a word limit, which there pretty much always is, after you've written the whole thing, then go in and cut out the parts that may not be so necessary. Make sure, please, make sure that someone else reads your essay. I know a lot of these essays are very, very personal. My essay was very, very personal. It was a very hard time in my life, but I still needed to have someone read over it because they're going to see the mistakes that you couldn't see yourself. They're going to notice things in your writing that you may not have noticed because you were just pouring out your heart. Find someone who really knows what they're doing too, because people can steer you in the wrong direction. I also suggest looking outside of family because they might be too, supportive and loving to really give you much constructive criticism. They might be like, oh yeah, that's really good. I really like this. But they're not going to go in and be nitpicky and be like, you spelled this wrong. I really hope this helped you guys applying for college. And even if you already applied, take these tips and let your little brothers know, let your little sisters know, let your baby cousins know. They're going to be doing this too. I had a really good advisor, so he really helped me a lot, and I was very inspired by that, so I want to help you guys too. A lot of these tips are from him. A lot of them are from my own university giving me tips, so I really hope that this helps someone, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!